Hey, so today I'm gonna do a ride with the King Zydeco from Cinelli. It's their gravel bike. So I'm gonna ride here from the shop and I'm gonna do a complete loop around Lake Apopka. So I'll be able to ride also on the wildlife gravel road. And so I'm gonna be able to test this bike on paved roads and also on gravel and see how it performs. So Cinelli, it's also a Italian brand of a lot of tradition, and they're known to be very bold on their designs and how they paint their bikes. If you ever looked at their website, they're pretty bold on that. And I've been guilty many times of being very conservative when choosing a bike, where I choose a black stealth, you know, plain color. I'm always afraid of, I don't know if I want too colorful. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. But lately, I've been liking a lot colorful bikes. The Conago C68 was a beautiful paint job, and this one is amazing. And I've been looking into their bikes, and I think they make their bikes look fun. Cycling has to be fun, right? So why do we have to go always with black or plain white and not go all the way, design different bikes? I like that. So let's hop on the road. I'm gonna ride here from the shop. I think it will give around 40 miles, so kind of half paved, half gravel, and let's see how this bike runs, and I'm gonna share a little bit more specs about it. Okay, so after 16 miles, we're here at the Green Mountain overlook. So it's the trailhead for you to enter the wildlife Lake Apopka gravel trail. And so far, I'm pretty impressed how the bike rolls. It rolls pretty good, and I felt really good. Usually when I test a new bike, it takes maybe 3, sometimes 4 rides to really dial my fit in. But I put my specs on this bike and it looks like I've been riding it for a long time. So pretty impressed. Of course, the power output is higher because it's a gravel bike and you're riding, these are 37 wide tires, and they're not tubeless. That's something I definitely would put on a gravel bike is tubeless tires. Of course, because of protection, of puncture protection, and also comfort wise. So this bike that has no pivots or anything or suspension, so I think definitely a tubeless tire would make a difference, but it's pretty comfortable. If you see on the geometry, it has this curved frame on here on the top and on the bottom. They claim that this will have a fluid geometry, making the bike stiffer and at the same time comfortable. I did feel really comfortable, fitted in right on the bike. One thing I did miss a little is the crank, the chain ring, the front chain ring. It's a 43, and I think it needs a little bigger here for Florida. If you, of course, are going to ride in mountains and a lot of hills, this is great. It's a pretty big cassette on the back and a small chain ring. But for Florida, where it's flat, I would put a little bigger chain ring. Especially if you have a high FTP and you're a bigger guy and you put a lot of output power, you're definitely going to miss the higher gears. But you can get this bike, the frame set, and do a custom build. If you like, for me, this would be just perfect because I ride more road bikes. I already have a road bike and this would be kind of my secondary gravel bike that I would ride maybe once a week, once, you know, every 2 weeks. So maybe you don't want to spend too much. The only thing I would really do is put a tubeless tire on this bike over here. But if gravel is your primary and this would be your primary bike, what I would definitely do would, of course, the tubeless. I really I forgot to mention this, but it has the SRAM Rival Mechanical. It's a 1x, as you see, and I used to have a long time ago a SRAM Apex double tap, and I really enjoy it. Some people hate it, some people love it. I had no problems, pretty easy, simple, budget friendly, but I'm used to now the E-tap, and it's just how fast it shifts. And if that's your primary bike, I would really consider putting an E-tap on, especially on gravel. You need to quickly shift. I think an E-tap would be great on this bike. Another thing, if this is your primary bike, I would put a carbon integrated handlebar stem. That also helps with comfort, and I really felt I've been riding now a carbon bar stem for a while from the Conago, and I really like the feel, the wider bar stem. It really you feel less vibration on the bar. So that's another thing I would definitely do to upgrade this bike. But despite that, it's a great bike. Plus, it's beautiful, right? So now let's see how it performs on gravel. So we have a map here, so just you have an idea what ride I'm doing. We started at the shop here in downtown Winter Garden. Then I rode on the Western Trail, boom, and then up this way here, Mont Verde, up to the Green Mountain Overlook. So this is where we are right now, and we're gonna enter this trail right here in the green and go all the way. This part here from the east side to the west is about 15 miles, and we're gonna end the gravel ride at Magnolia Park. If this is another trailhead, you can start over from here too and do the other way, but I'm going from east to west and then back on the road back to the shop. Quick stop here at the pump house. So we're not very far from Magnolia Park, the trailhead on the west side of the lake. Now this stretch I'm doing, it's not the only gravel road around here. You have many other parallel roads around, so you can explore wherever you want to go. It's just that I want to do this loop around the lake. And a few things I want to share more about the bike that I forgot. One thing here down to over here, there's this Kevlar protection where they put, like a lot of people put some stickers here or some kind of protection rubber to protect from little rocks hitting your frame. So they already put some Kevlar protection shield. Looks like a pretty cool idea. They also have like pretty bulky rubber next to the chain, because you end up hitting a lot of holes and the chain starts bouncing all around, and you want to protect the frame as much as you can. During the ride, I'm really feeling the difference of a tubeless tire, and I think I put too much air on the tire, so it's been a little rough. And I remember also when I rode the Beria, it had the zip carbon wheels. I think that's also a great feature if you're having a race bike. And this is their gravel race, but they also you can use this as a bike packing bike and a touring bike, so for all outdoor adventure exploring bike. So enjoying it so far. It responds really well. Like, I'm a roadie, so I'm not very used to riding on loose gravel, sand, and it handles really, really great. It's a very predictable bike. I noticed there's not many gators today, I think. I haven't spotted one. Usually you see them on the lake, or they're popping up out their heads, and then you see a lot of little heads on the lake. This lake, it's full of gators, but maybe it's too cold for them. Yeah, it's November and it's like 75, almost 80. This is Florida, guys, and I know some of you have commented that you watch my video during the winter while you're doing an indoor training session to, you know, pass by your time and distract a little from the boring pain cave. So I even thought in doing like some videos just of, you know, talking and some music, riding around for those that are in the harsh winter up north and they have to grind on their trainers, indoor trainers. Maybe do some nice videos. I would call it maybe time killer indoor videos. Here we are at the Trailhead Magnolia Park. This is all new construction. They just built this new facility. A lot of parking places, playground. There's a docking area where you can put your boat in the water, restrooms, and from here you can enter the Apopka Nature Trail and ride the other way. I think this is closer actually from Winter Garden because I'm like 6 miles away from the shop. So I'm riding back to the shop, but this is a nice area if you want to stop here and start your ride. And on the other side of the road, there's also like a big park, big area where you can spend time with the family and enjoy the beautiful sight of Lake Apopka, one of the largest lakes here in the area. But now, let me get back to the shop. Now this area to ride on the road is not bad, but there are a lot of roads with no shoulders. So if you're not comfortable, it's like, I would say, of all this 40-mile ride, it's the least enjoyable, at least like the first 3 miles here in Apopka. As you get into Winter Garden, you can hop on the Western Trail. And then there's like 2-3 more miles to downtown Winter Garden. Okay, back to the shop. Nice ride. It's a nice option for a gravel bike if you're looking for something different with some nice colors. They also have the yellow painted frame that's really nice. Oh, I think I forgot also to mention these tires are 37 and you can put up to 47 millimeter wide tires. So pretty wide, very fun ride, rides really well. And one thing of the Lake Apopka Trail, it has like these white powder, especially when you're really on the north side, and it leaves this this very thin powder that I notice in some people that bring their bikes in, especially Lewis. He brought once his Cervelo and he rides gravel, and this little powder enters, I don't know how, into the bottom bracket, the bearings, and they dry up the grease in there and it locks up. So the only thing, if you ride here around here, Lake Apopka, is to service your bearings quite frequently, because this powder will enter and will start making noise. And his got to a point that his bottom bracket locked. It glued, it created kind of a glue. This powder mixed with the grease dried everything in. It was like nasty. But that's it, guys. One more bike for review. Hopefully I'll bring some other bikes. I have a few bikes in line to show you guys. Very excited about that. Leave in the comments what you think about the King Zydeco from Cinelli. As always, I'll see you on the next ride experience. Ciao.